Good day. Today, we will discuss about the least squares line, or known as the least square regression line. At the end of the lesson, students are expected to find and interpret the equation of the least squares regression line, estimate the value of y or x given a table of x and y values or the regression model, to learn the meaning of the slope of the least squares regression line, and to learn how to use the least squares regression line to estimate the response variable y in terms of the predictor variable x. So, can we predict how many ice creams you can sell in a day of summer? We will discover the answer throughout the lesson. The term regression was first used by Sir Francis Galton, an English Victorian-era statistician, in reference to the heights of children and their parents. Tall parents tended to have children shorter than themselves, and vice versa for short parents. He called this effect regression towards mediocrity, wherein heights regress to the mean. So, what is least squares regression line? The RL is a line that makes a vertical distance from the data points to the regression line as small as possible. It is called the least square because the line of best fit here is one that minimizes the variance, or the sum of squares of the errors. Given any collection of pairs of numbers and the corresponding scatter diagram, there always exists exactly one straight line that fits the data better than any other. In the sense of minimizing the sum of the squared errors, it is called the least squares regression line. We also have here the line of best fit, wherein it refers to a line through a scatter plot of data points that best expresses the relationship between those points. This is the scatter plot. The scatter plot shows a set of data which a linear regression model appears appropriate. So here is the least square regression line formula. We have here three formulas, wherein y is equals to mx plus b. M and b has a special formula. M stands for the slope or gradient, b refers to the value of y when x is 0, and n is the number of points. So how do we find m and b? B is just easy because we can see where the line crosses the y-axis, and m as a slope needs some calculation with the formula of m is equals to change in y divided by change in x. So the formula for m is equals to n multiplied by the sum of xy minus the sum of x multiplied by the sum of y divided by n multiplied by the sum of x squared minus the sum of x squared. Meanwhile, the formula for b is equals to the sum of y minus m multiplied by the sum of x over n. Then the third equation is y is equals to mx plus b. So here are the steps to find the line of best fit for endpoints. Step 1. For each x and y point, calculate x squared and xy. Step 2. Sum all x, y, x squared, and xy, which gives us the sum of x, the sum of y, and the sum of x squared, and the sum of xy. Step 3. Calculate the slope b using the formula of b is equals to number of points multiplied by xy minus the sum of x multiplied by the sum of y over n multiplied by the sum of x squared minus the sum of x squared. N stands for the number of points. Step 4. Calculate intercept b using the formula of b is equals to the sum of y minus m multiplied by the sum of x divided by n. Step 5. Assemble the equation of a line using the formula of y is equals to mx plus b. So let's have an example to see how to do it. Maxi, think of how many hours of sunshine versus how many ice creams were sold at the shop from Monday to Friday. X stands for the hours of sunshine, ice cream sold is y, and x we have 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Meanwhile, in y we have 4, 5, 7, 10, and 15. So let us find the best slope, and b that suits the data y is equals to mx plus b. So for the solution for step 1, for each x and y, calculate x squared and xy, wherein we multiplied x by itself. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, then so on and so forth. Meanwhile, in xy, we need to get the product of x and y. 2 multiplied by 4 is equals to 8. 3 multiplied by 5 is 15, and so on. Step 2. Sum x, y, x squared, and xy. That's give us the sum of x is 26, the sum of y is 41, the sum of x squared is 168, and the sum of xy is 263. Also, the n, number of data values. The data values here is 5 since we have 5 of pair coordinate values. Step 3. Calculate the slope m using the formula of m is equals to n multiplied by the sum of xy minus the sum of x multiplied by the sum of y divided by n multiplied by the sum of x squared minus the sum of x squared. Meanwhile, m is equals to number of points 5 multiplied by 263, the sum of xy minus the sum of x, which is 26, multiplied by the sum of y, 41, divided by 5 multiplied by 168, the x squared, minus the 262. That is equals to 1,315 minus 1,066 over 840 minus 676. It is equals to 249 over 164. We need to divide it, and we have the answer of 1.5183. We only have 4 decimal places. Step 4. Calculate intercept b using the formula of b is equals to the sum of y minus m multiplied with the sum of x divided by n, which in we have the sum of y 41 minus the m 1.5183 multiplied by 26 over 5. Then we have the answer of b 0.3049, only 4 decimal places. So step 5, we need to assemble the equation of a line using the formula of y is equals to mx plus b. We have here y is equals to 1.518x plus 0.305, and we need to round off the m and b. So here are the x and y points on the line of y is equals to 1.518x plus 0.305 on a graph. So Maxi here is the weather forecast, which says we expect 8 hours of sun tomorrow. So he uses the above equation to estimate that he will sell y is equals to 1.518x plus 0.305 is equals to 12.45 ice creams. So let's have another example. So find the least squares given in the box. We have here x 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Meanwhile in y we have 6, 10, 14, 18, 22, 26, 30. Of course, we will use the same formula, and we have here the number of points. We have here 7 coordinate pairs, so the number of points is 7. So we need to multiply x to itself to get the x squared. 0 multiplied by 0 equals 0, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, and so on. Then we need to get the product of x and y. 0 multiplied by 6 is equals 0, 2 multiplied by 10 is 20, 4 multiplied by 14 is 56, and so on. Then we have the sum of x, which is 42, the sum of y is 126, the sum of x squared is 364, meanwhile the sum of xy is 980. Using the formula of m, we have 7 is multiplied by the sum of xy, which is 980, minus the sum of x 42 multiplied by the sum of y 126 divided by the number of 0.7 multiplied by the sum of x squared 364 minus the sum of x 42 squared. It is equals to 6,860 minus 5,292 divided by 2,548 minus 84, wherein we have 1,563 divided by 2,462, and we have the 0.6348 for decimal places. And of course, we need the formula of b, which we have here the b is equals to the sum of y 126 minus m. Our m is 0.6348 multiplied by the sum of x 42 divided by 7. Y is equals to 99.3384 divided by 7. equals to 14.1912 for decimal places. So in the formula y is equal to mx plus b. We need to round off the m and the b. We have here y is equals to 0.635x plus 14.191. Y is equals to 14.826. So here are the key points. The least squares regression line is a linear model for varied data sets consisting of n data points of x and y, where x is the independent or explanatory variable and y is the dependent or response variable. We may use the least square regression line to estimate or predict values of the dependent variable using interpolation, that is using x values within the known range. Extrapolation, that is using values outside the range to estimate or predict, is not advisable as a result may be erroneous. So we need to apply what you have learned in this lesson. So the data used to produce a scatter plot is given in the table shown. So that is the end of the lesson. Thank you. Minus 310 squared is equals to 72,190 minus 69,750